Hey guys, how we doing? As we come to the end of our line unit, our next unit in art is shape. So we start out with line. Line is a very simple concept. Line is a point that moves through space, right? We all know how to make a line. We can make a straight line or a curved line. Um, the difference between a line and a shape is when we take a line and we enclose a space with it. So we take a line, we go all the way around until the line touches itself. That becomes a shape. All right. There are two different kinds of shapes: organic shapes, which are shapes that are found in nature, and you can see those on, I guess, on my left. So I'm hoping that's your left also. So anytime you spill a little bit of water or oil, that forms an organic shape. Leaves are organic. Our hands are organic shapes, right? If we were to draw a line all the way around it, like we used to make the Thanksgiving turkey, that's an organic shape. Anything in the natural world, all right, that's an organic shape. Geometric shapes are a little different. Geometric shapes are shapes that are measurable. And if you are a sophomore in high school, chances are you have the course called geometry. Geometry is the study of geometric shapes. So you could measure the area of a square or the perimeter of a square. Same thing with basically every shape, circles, triangles, etc. Some shapes are polygons, so they're a combination of shapes. So like if you look at the five-pointed star there, that's actually a polygon. So it's a combination of triangles, right? So our next unit is shape. There are organic shapes and there are geometric shapes, all right? And we can't talk about shape without mentioning some of the artists that really, really relied on shape. So what you're looking at here are some artworks from a variety of artists. We have Mondrian, and in the upper right hand, or I'm sorry, upper left hand corner, Matisse, Picasso in the upper right hand corner, and Picasso was kind of interesting because he was called a cubist, and what the cubists did was they broke down the organic world, the natural world, like human beings, into geometric shapes. All right, and you can kind of see that in the picture with the man with the clarinet and the guitar. So if you were to build a person out of geometric shapes, you'd become an early cubist. The bottom left, this is a mobile. So like the things that hang over babies' cribs that kind of float, or maybe wind chimes could be considered kind of a mobile. And that artwork is by an artist named Alexander Calder. And Calder was very concerned with shapes, so he used them in all of his mobiles. And those are actually sculptures. So if you were to go to a museum, they would be kind of slowly spinning around above your head. Bottom right, I believe, is a Paul Klee, another artist very concerned with shape. All right, so organic shapes, geometric shapes, and then we're going to talk a little bit about balance. And this is going to kind of lead us into our next project, okay? So balance. Balance in art is just what it sounds like. I'm reading off the slide here. It's the sense of stability in work. And there's three different kinds of balance: symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial balance. All right. Symmetrical is what you see on the bottom left here. So if I were to take this red line and cut my design in half, it's balanced. It's exactly the same on each side. Think of a butterfly. Butterflies are symmetrically balanced. It's the exact same on the left as it is on the right. All right. So that's symmetry. Ironically, our faces are not symmetrical, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So we think of the human face as symmetrical, but in reality, our left side and our right side are not exactly the same. The more symmetrical a person's face is, the more attractive we find them. So models have a very symmetrical face. The next kind of balance is asymmetrical balance, and that's right in the middle. So if I were to draw a line down the center of this, the left half and the right half have equal weight, but they're not actually identical. If you think of a seesaw, like when you were young, maybe you got on a teeter-totter or a seesaw. Maybe if you were like me, I was a young kid with a weight problem. Maybe you were the one person on this one side of the seesaw, and it took like three of your friends on the other side of the seesaw to balance that out. So that's still balanced. The teeter-totter's still balanced, but you have one chubby Mr. Hart on one side and three normal-sized kids on the other side, and that's how that balanced. So that's asymmetrical, when the weight is the same, but the two things are not identical. Okay, and the third type of balance we're going to talk about is radial balance, and radial balance is kind of the natural go-to. If you think of a dartboard or any kind of target, Wherever the design springs out from the middle and comes out like a wheel, spokes on a wheel, that's radial balance, okay? So our next unit is shape, and we're going to incorporate organic and geometric shapes, and we're also going to implement a concept known as balance. So we're going to talk about symmetrical balance, asymmetrical balance, and radial balance.